peeps? Welcome to On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
Hey, today, we're going to talk about today, T.
Some of the things that make it hard to date, I'm going to say black women.
Oh, Lord.
I'm going to listen. I'm going to talk a lot. I'm going to give my
You're gonna
feedback.
have to.
Because y'all not going to serve us up on a little platter. Or as we're going to talk about this as respectfully, but also as raw. Because
Yes.
I want to get to this, to the real, like, nitty-gritty of this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the real issues that men are having when pursuing the black woman, when dating why are we not getting to the finish line even, right? So from the beginning, the pursuit, right? The middle, the dating, right? The relationship, and even, I guess, inside the marriage, if we can get a little bit of that perspective.
Oh,
Yeah.
God. You know what? I'm going to say this. The attitude stink. You got rank, stank attitude. Attitude goes a long goddamn way.
That's not enough information now, okay? Because everybody want to say, our attitude stink. And
oh, my God.
But what you mean, though? What
Okay.
exactly do you mean? Because not my no, I have a great attitude.
Yes.
Just for the record, I have a great attitude.
Yes, you do.
I had training on that just
Yes.
so
Yes.
people know that I had a professional development session.
Ah,
Right? Yes,
okay.
I did. Because somebody thought, perhaps I had a poor attitude. So we did a little professional development.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
And I realized that I had a great attitude. But tell me about these attitudes.
Here's the thing. It just seems like, and I'm not going to speak for all, but
Okay.
a lot of guys say that black women in particular have this aggressive, passive aggressive in some cases, but aggressive attitude or mentality. And it rubs guys the wrong way. It gives them kind of like, it's almost like you're yelling at them, but not really yelling at them. You're giving them attitude.
It's like we're mean.
You kind of have
I think sometimes y'all like that, though. Because it's like something y'all can conquer, though.
Sometimes.
Not
Not
like
all
we did it
the
too
goddamn
much.
time.
Okay.
Sometimes it's too goddamn much. Let me tell you, the guys out here now, you guys, whew, Hail Mary, full of grace for y'all, because I don't know what the
Whatever.
fuck. It's
What
bad.
they out there dealing
It's
with.
bad. It's bad out here. These guys, and I guess the thing is, y'all are asking a lot of us, but not willing to give a lot to us.
Is that what's happening?
You want a lot. You want, he better have this. He better have that. He better have this. But then we're like, okay, if you want that, and I'm willing to give it to you, what you giving to us? Oh, well, I'm getting this. And the obvious is like, okay, aside from the booty, what else are you offering? What do you want? What the fuck do you really want in your life?
Now. To be fair.
Come on, Mackenzie.
Okay, come on, producer.
To be fair.
Uh-huh.
A lot of women in general are not good at quantifying what makes them interesting as a mate outside of physical, for lack of a better term.
Okay, so the
Identifying their worth and what's being brought to the table is what you're saying? We can't identify that?
They're not good at identifying what they believe is their worth. They believe their worth is tied into either masculine things, i.e., I have a good job.
I love him for this. It said to mask, because that's
masculine
pretty much
thing.
Yeah, we don't really word it like that normally, but it sounds great when you put it like that, because that's pretty much as raw as it can get, right?
Yeah.
As masculine things, your career. Like, you can't say, what do you bring to the table? Oh, I bring my job. Yeah, I got one of those already.
Yeah,
Like,
so
but
what else
I
is
don't
it?
have no job, so I'm not bringing that to the table. Just so you
Damn.
know. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, you got no job, so
Yeah.
then we're going to look at the obvious. If you're not bringing a job to the table.
But what about my shortcomings makes me have an attitude?
That is something that women seem to not figure out. You know what? Here's a question.
Come on.
Why don't women figure out who the fuck they are before they start wanting to drag somebody else into their lives?
No. I didn't approach you, okay? I don't walk down the street, stop in traffic, and I approached you after I stopped the traffic. I was minding my little business, right? Walking down the street.
Yep.
Y'all was driving y'all car. I was walking that day. And then all the cars was about to crash. I stopped the traffic.
Yes,
You
yes.
hopped out of your car. You said, "Excuse me, miss." I
Yes.
said, how you doing today? And you
Yes,
said,
yes.
And then you approached me and you tried to get me to get into your car, go out on a date with you. I was just minding my business, trying to figure out myself. But then here goes the man insisting, "Oh, don't worry about all your shortcomings, sugar thing. You so pretty. Come on, just come out on a little date." And I'm like, "No, I didn't want to do that. I'm working on myself right now." But you insisted.
Yes. We don't get.
what happened?
Yes.
As guys, we insist like, "Oh, let's have this conversation." But my biggest problem is not necessarily the intro. Like at the intro, anybody can be anything they want to be. You can be fully put together,
All the way representative.
you can be completely off kilter. But for fuck's sake, you have to stay that way. Like if you're all the way put together, right? Then if you find somebody who's not put together, you sense it immediately. I don't give a shit if you're a man or a woman. You sense the person that you're across the table from is not on your level. If you've never had that feeling, then maybe you aren't him or maybe you aren't her. But if you are him and you are her, you know when a nigga across from you ain't shit. You just know it. At that point, you have a decision to make. Am I going to deal with this? Am I not going to deal with it? If you decide to deal with it, right, then you sign up for whatever happens next. Because the person obviously presented to you is not put together. As a guy, I'm cool if my woman is not put together because guess what? The expectation is that I'm put together. The expectation for women is not that you're put together. It's like, hey man, maybe you look good. Maybe we have a good time, right? But only good times and looking good last for a finite period of time. In which case, when the good times end and the looks fade away, what do you have left? And what you find is that in a lot of cases, there's nothing else there.
I don't where's the play? Just served it on up again.
Yeah, it's like, but that's a true statement because in the beginning,
I don't know these ladies, by the way.
you know what? And I'm glad you don't because goddamn, we would have a chair right here and ask them the same question like, what the fuck makes you tick? Because again, that's all you really have is your presentation, and that's all we're gonna go for. As a guy, that's how we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you like, damn, she look fine, and then we're gonna approach you, and then from that point on, we're gonna holler at you. We're gonna talk to you because we're gonna see what where your head is at.
Right.
But if we start talking to you, you start saying, she's really not that at the level I expect her to be. And if you find, you know what, I'm gonna spend a little more time here because
you're attractive and it'll bail you out.
Yeah, buy you some time because again, I'm gonna take you out because you fine. Now, if you look at the bottom of a shoe, I'm probably not gonna say nothing to you in the first place. So I'm gonna just keep riding by like, ooh, goddamn, keep going. Which again is not right. But we're dealing with human nature. Human nature is not dealing with a person.
Ugly niggas get curved all the time.
Yes.
But here's the thing: ugly men get curved all the time. Nobody says shit about it. Nobody thinks anything of it.
No.
Right?
No, the ugly men get played too.
Ugly men get played, but a lot of ugly niggas get curved.
Well,
There's more ugly niggas get curved than ugly niggas get played. Point blank period. That is not a doubt. That's factually true.
Okay.
That's factually true.
Okay.
Because why would y'all? Because think about it.
No, we're not.
Would
Yeah,
y'all, as a woman, look at a very unattractive man?
Wrong from Martin.
No. We're not gonna.
If he come in this bitch, someone said, what's this type of way?
You really are.
I'm gonna be offended deeply.
See?
Yeah, deeply. No, for real. Which is hair dripping.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah. We be offended.
Yes.
Looking like that.
So
had a nerve to talk to me.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
That face.
And then the attitude comes out.
Yes.
And you gonna say, get your ugly ass away from me. And he gonna just go his ugly ass and go somewhere. Well, I'm gonna find somebody. And he will find somebody because somehow will eventually go after his ass. And if he has money, then y'all looking a little different.
Bodies.
Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls was not an attractive man.
He had personality.
He had personality, but he also got money. And Biggie said it himself. Bitches didn't give no fuck about what I was doing until I started making money. He said it himself. Because all men understand that regardless of what you look like, as long as your pockets are fat You can get any type of woman you want.
But I still feel like he was entertained. He didn't get curved by every woman just because, like...
Right, but the women who wanted him may not have been the women that he wanted.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Now you can get any old girl.
Not any girl.
That so you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so then, exactly, like, you have those instances where, like, okay, this person might need more than money, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It still needs
but
attraction.
Now you have the confidence to feel like you can pretty much
bang anything or attempt to approach anybody.
There you go. And that goes back to women. It's like you have to have something more than just your looks. The woman has to have more, because a lot of women nowadays, oh, I look good, I got this, I got that. That's fine. But what separates you from all the other grapes in the bundle? You're just one grape. You're one grape in all the other 15 grapes.
Put us all in a damn bunch. We ain't no grapes. Damn.
Y'all a good bushel of grapes. But if I
pluck us off.
But y'all fine. All 15 y'all fine.
Yeah.
All look good. Y'all sound good. Y'all smell good.
Uh-huh.
Now, as a guy, how do I look at this 15 grapes and say, I want that grape and not the other 14? So how do y'all distinguish yourselves from being different from everybody else? For a guy, we just like, listen, if we have some money, because in our head, like, I may not look good, but if I have a little money, I could probably work it out a little bit. Because that's what we're looking at. That's all. Now, if you're ugly and broke, ooh, Lord, your life is going to be long and hard. That's just a fact as a guy. For a woman, you could be ugly or unattractive, but you have a banging body, we're going to probably holler at you. We're going to say, she ain't too really good looking in the face, but that body banging. Oh, body banging. And again, you say, I'm going to date her because she looks, her body's banging. But longevity wise, may not be long, because after a while you're like, okay, once you go through the process and get it, you may say, okay, she's fine and all that. You know, she got a great body, but not so good.
Right. It didn't take you to the finish line. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But a lot of women, it's almost like they've been hurt before somehow in relationships. So it's like every guy is kind of like that look like, what he gonna do? He seems to be a nice guy. But remember those other guys I've been dating?
You guarded. You're too guarded.
So now you're going to give me attitude. So now you're not giving your best, because to me, it's like, I look good, so you should talk to me anyway. That's the impression we get. Like, okay, I'm cute, and you're going to talk to me. So let me see what really makes you. And if you don't like it, or if you say, hey, I ain't got no money.
Why would you say that?
No,
don't
you wouldn't say that. You would actually see him.
Don't say that.
You know for a fact, for a woman, that your ass is looking at everything that's going on with that guy before he talks to you. If that bum or that dude shows up in a hoopty and walks in there, and you're like, I saw him get that 1995 hoopty, and they gonna come in here and wearing that 1980s and 90s shit. I don't give a shit what he said. I ain't getting nothing from his broke ass. I know he broke. He got 1995 whatever. It don't even matter. He got it all. Everything looks like since the beginning, like he just bought the car. No, fuck that. It's 1995. Why the hell he ain't got a 2023? Anything.
Like you just sum up.
Yeah.
His worth. Yeah.
You just like boom, 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 boom. You start ticking off.
That was a movie. You remember that movie? Was it Sprung? Y'all remember that movie?
Yeah.
She just look at him. Yeah. Shirt costs this much. Shoes cost that much.
Yes.
No, he worth something.
See?
Car worth. Don't judge us.
But then at that point you give us attitude, because you may say, I give him some play.
So are you saying that a lot of the attitude that the men are enduring out here is because we're walking around with the past baggage?
Absolutely. And the older you get, it just gets worse and worse. The body count just goes up.
The thing is, it doesn't have to be, pardon my language, but it doesn't have to be fucking body count. It could just be you grew up and you was a nappy-headed nigga of a child. And so kids called you nappy. And now you guarded about your hair. And so now anybody who looks even remotely like one of them kids who called you nappy-headed hoe, you mad at.
And that goes back.
But it's still baggage.
That's baggage.
Yeah.
It's the fucking baggage.
You didn't let go of, so now you're super sensitive. Yeah. I can understand that, yeah.
But at what point do you do the work to get out of that. Because if what happened to you at 10 years of age is still affecting you at 33, that's a fucking problem.
I don't think that as a woman I've ever thought about the concept that how we just put it out there. Like we as a whole walk around with attitude because of past baggage, trauma experiences. I don't know if we're mindful to work through that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I guess at that point, it's like what pops in your head, if anything pops in your head, that's like, wait a minute. I'm doing this. I've been doing the same stuff for a number of years, and it's not getting any better. It's getting worse. And at some point, do they talk to other women, or do they talk to anybody about how do I change this? Because at some point, I would think you got to be unhappy. You got to be unhappy with who you are and where you are.
I think unhappy, but I don't think so, because that's why we're talking about it today. There has been no change. It sounds like it's only been like we're diving deeper into it, right? Because we're familiar that we need to shed the past baggage. We're familiar that we shouldn't go into the next relationship harboring the nonsense that we had from the last relationship. We're mindful to shed that trauma from childhood, shed those experiences that didn't treat us very well. We're mindful that we should let those things go. But then are we mindful that, hey, even if you think you let it go, how that affects you today and how it's then coming out to affect the people around you? Just like I never thought about that. Someone teases you as a child about your hair. So you grow up and you have a complex about your hair, right? And so a man who perhaps, maybe he likes your type of hair because that's something that he fancies. You don't know what people like, so maybe he attempts to compliment your hair.
Yes.
But you so guarded, now God, we always roll our neck. Snap our neck.
Yes.
So now you snap your neck, rolling your neck around, and now you present and you give someone who was just trying to give you a compliment, you then deliver, an attitude or something that is just negative, right? Not even thinking.
Yes.
So now we're moving in ways where we're not even mindful of how we're moving.
Wow.
We're not mindful where that attitude or that the attitude is about to come out, right?
Yeah.
Even I've seen women in passing who a guy was trying to give her a compliment, right? And she didn't exactly hear the compliment, right? But all she did was hear him talking to her. And, she done rolled her neck, looked down, and maybe he could have sassed her, right? But why would you assume that that's the first thing that a man is doing? And then why would you meet him with such negativity? His energy wasn't negative,
Yes.
He had a positive stance on himself, so technically it couldn't have been nothing like negative. So why did she feel the need to kind of respond? And it's like, did you even think about how you were responding? There was nothing soft in the response. So I don't think that we think about how that past baggage is carried on our backs. And we think, we all heard the song by Erykah Badu, Bag a Lady. We all thought we got rid of the bags back then. No, they still on our backs. You pretending like it's not there, like you don't feel it. And it's affecting how you interact, even just on a basic level, even just like the baggage from your job. Think about how, beat down and run down a woman would feel after a 8 to 10 hour job / commute back and forth.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's that baggage that you harboring. So when somebody go to approach you, excuse me, how you doing today, miss? Tired of talking to you.
Yes.
You're not soft no more.
No.
Because you feeling overwhelmed, but you're not mindful that you're not soft anymore. And so the more, I'm assuming, it becomes a habit. The more you go out and you receive people talking to you like that, and you now that's how you respond to other people.
Damn.
And it's just,
and you stack up your frustrations almost unintentionally.
this is all being done, in my opinion, without intention.
It's just you're going through the motion.
Yeah, you're not even being mindful how negative you being when you respond to people. You don't see how your face is scrunched up and balled up. What the guys always say, damn, girl, smile.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
oops, like, thank you for reminding me to smile because I did have my face all balled up. And just a little,
Yes.
you know, but it's like the guys are out there kind of reminding us like, damn, y'all not soft no more. Right? And that's what that's telling us, that we not soft, and this never really mindful how we got to be in a place where as a whole, right, we're just not looked at as being soft and feminine and approachable anymore.
Oh my God.
And even if you are married, right?
Yep.
It's not to say people can't approach me. People talk to me all the time in passing. You know, I just simply, I'm unavailable, right? I mean, even if you're not married, generally speaking, wherever you're at, you don't necessarily want to be picking up people anywhere you go. That doesn't mean that I want to be rude and negative to people who are trying to compliment me or just, you know, of course somebody asks you your name. That's part of the pickup line, but I'm not like, you know,
that,
like, and some people are like, no, you got to shut it down real quick. I actually don't have to shut it down real quick. Like if I'm in the line at Sardi's and the guy behind me is like, hey, how you doing today? Oh, I'm doing well, thank you. Right? Well, what's your name? Oh, yeah, I might make up something, but like, hey, my name is nothing, you know? And can I call you later? No, thank you. You know, I'm unavailable. I'm not looking, or, you know, something, but I don't have to be rude and negative and just like, ain't nobody interested in you. Like,
yes,
I've never quite been that person.
But we see it all the time. Yeah. It's like in our heads,
it's the quick shutdown.
But the problem is, when let's say there's a guy there that may look at you, damn, I may want to holler. But if you give that attitude, I'm not talking to her.
And I think more than it's the quick shutdown, it becomes your only shutdown. So where you can't shut a guy down with a soft approach.
It's got to be hard.
It's got to be harsh, right?
Yeah, and why?
And why? And it's like you're not in harm's way.
No.
Right? So you don't, I mean, and if you were, you certainly wouldn't talk to him like that.
No, you wouldn't, because you want to get your ass whipped.
Yeah, you still want your fronts, right?
Yes, exactly.
So keeping it real, if you were really feeling like you had to shut a situation down in order to stay safe, right? You certainly wouldn't do it like with the negative energy looming around you. That wouldn't make sense.
And I'm thinking, would women, if you have a friend, you have friends who have that issue where you see them always barking at guys, always cutting them, you know, I call from ear to ear approach to them, like, do y'all say, listen, girl, that you ain't had to do that. You could have did this a little different. You know what? You ain't had. All he was saying, you look nice today. And you went at him like he was going to throw $1 at you, like you're the strip club. But he's really just trying to be nice to say, hey, you look nice, and you just cut his stuff Do y'all have that conversation?
Self-correct.
Yeah.
Yes. But
or
I don't know.
Would you feel comfortable self-correcting?
Yeah, because first of all, you probably embarrassing me doing all of that next to me.
Because you know why? I'm not to cut you off. If she does that and you around and she's around y'all must be like that.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that there's groups where they are all like that, and so I don't know if in a group where everybody conducts themselves like that, if we're correcting each other, because if we all feel like that's the appropriate behavior, then why would we correct it? But if there's a wild card in the group who's acting like that, and it's like. First of all, don't bring that energy to me, because as soon as old boy get to swinging on somebody for disrespecting him, I ain't trying to be within his reach.
Nope.
Like, that's number one. Because, man, you never know who's upset, who's on edge out here, and you out here disrespecting men. Don't do it with me. I'm too late. Nah, I lost too much weight.
I'm trying to get punched in my eye because he's swinging over.
Because I'm going to die. You know, you hit me one time, and I might be dead. No.
And
you're not taking me out that easy just because the man just told me, excuse me, miss, I like your shoes today. No, you ain't going to
No, you're not going to get my eye fucked up because you got a goddamn attitude. And again, at some point, where the hell did that even start? Because to be in your 30s with that attitude, it didn't just start in your 30s.
No, it started earlier. It started probably in your teens when you had grown men hollered at you. Like, so, obviously, this sentence will make sense to you, and you've heard this before. Women usually get jaded very early because you grow up to being a teenager, and then some old nigga, way older than 13,
way older,
is trying to holler at you, right? Mm-hmm. And you start getting jaded to men very early because men, in essence, start sexualizing you very, very young. That's just a thing. Mm-hmm. Is it right? No, but that's not the purpose of this conversation. But when you have that kind of happen young, you have to develop a coping mechanism quickly with that. So if you build that shutdown off rip, that's might be the only thing you know.
But it's the shutdown that's a very masculine approach. Because I was the girl who, like, yeah, I'm a girl, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, I just said I just lost weight. Like, mm-hmm. I'm 20 pounds lighter. Like, if you would have saw me in 5th grade, like, you know, like, she's in 5th grade. No. That's a child? Mm-hmm. Oh, my. I was one of those type of kids, right? Mm-hmm. Like, kid who's not quite looking like a kid, but I also had a mother who worked on her daughter. Like, you don't have to shut them down like that. Right? And if I'm 12, right, and you're 20, and I'm just like, no, simply I'm 12, and I'm too young for you. Because I was taught that.
You were taught
I was taught that. And it does seem like we have to shut them down early, right?
Yes, you do.
And we are taught and we are engaged and start experiencing very early that shutdown, especially to people who are outside of our age group, because perhaps we do start looking much older than we really are. But the shutdown doesn't have to be, like, again, negative, masculine, and, like, you know, the way that we doing it. And then the way you shut down at 12, is that how you shut them down at 30?
Shouldn't be.
Where's the feminine evolution, right? When do you come into your queenship? Like, is that a word? When are you queening? Like, what are you doing? Like, you don't.
But where are the steps? What you just said, there are steps to this. Mm-hmm. You don't go from being a boy to a man. It's not just you just grow into it.
Just grow into it, right?
It's a lot of
Somebody's
people.
Guiding you.
Somebody has to guide you. And I think that's what's missing now. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of women aren't guided that way. For instance, being brought up in the 70s, they were taught certain, you don't dress this way, you set a certain way, you eat a certain way. It's like girls were taught how not to sit. You don't sit with your legs open. You sit with your legs crossed. You don't. Yes. If you get to a certain age, you don't sit on everybody's lap. Yes. You know, you as a girl, you get to 10 or above, you don't sit on people's lap. You don't do certain things. So you were kind of taught by either your mother, grandmama, somebody, big mama, somebody taught you the steps of how to handle yourself as a woman, as a young woman. Same thing with boys. Boys were taught, you know, hey, you need to do this, you need to do this, this is how you tie a tie, this is how you do this. You were taught these things. That does not happen now. People don't go through the process of teaching young women or young men of how to evolve into men and women. It's kind of like, you should read it on the internet.
And you should read it on the internet, but I feel like the other kind of sticking point is that everybody's doing too much of wondering how they get the other sex to do something instead of just being in your own walk. Like, as a man, I might sit here and say, yeah, I want my girl to, you know, be able to take lead, but then also be willing to give up and fall behind me and just listen, right? But you'll hear a woman who will say, like, man, but you as a man, like, you need to be able to take point at all times. You need to be able to make sure the house is taken care of and all these other things. Right, but if I tell you that I also need my woman to clean and I need you to learn how to not run your mouth in scenarios where you're going to get us in trouble, times to just shut the hell up, then it's a problem. Because I'm telling you what to do with your life, but that's what you expect men to do. Like, women have expectations for men, but have a problem when a man has an expectation for a woman at all times, regardless of. If you tell a woman now, like if I went outside right now and I picked a girl my age, right, I said, hey man, you know how to do A, B, C, X, Y, Z, right? That's what I tell the answer probably would be no. She doesn't know how to cook. She doesn't know how to clean. She don't know how to do.
Y'all killing me out here.
Shit, whatever I'm or whatever old style
She don't know how to
expectation.
darn no socks. She don't know how to cook no meatloaf.
She don't know how to iron nothing.
Iron.
And you got an attitude.
And you have an attitude.
Yeah, motherfucker, I know how to cook and clean and all that shit. So what?
Because what they'll say is,
Wow.
because you're an adult, as a man, you should be able to do these things, right?
To do what?
You should be able to know how to cook and take care of yourself.
And then
I'm a grown woman. I should have to take care of no nigga. You should be able to take care of yourself.
Oh no, it's my honor. It is my honor to take care of you.
Well, see,
There's a nigga right home right now saying, I can't believe she's married. This is some bullshit. She's
Yeah.
my sister. I'm so serious. There's a nigga right at home who's like, oh,
My
what?
honor.
Yes,
yes.
because the thing is,
mean,
we're telling these people this, and we're telling them from the aspect of we out the game. We're just sitting back here, kind of like in the skybox, telling them, hey, to get to the skybox, here's what you need to do: get up here. Yeah, I know you down there in seat number 300, all in the corner where you gotta look up and see the goddamn game going on. But we sitting right here watching the game, and sipping and sipping on every yak and everything else, but we're trying to tell you how to get here.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't understand that it takes work.
And it takes a give and freaking take.
Give and take. Here's a prime example.
Let's go.
My grandmother told me when I was little, she taught me how to cook, all this stuff. For me, 8, 9, 10, I didn't know why the fuck I had to learn how to cook. I was like, that's what you do. What she said was, I want you to be able to do all this stuff on your own and not depend on a woman to do it for you. Because you do not want to depend on someone to cook your damn food. You should be able to get your ass up, cook your food, buy it, cook it, know what you're doing.
Yes.
Because you don't have to depend on anybody. And if something happens, you down the road, you get married, you be able to cook and do what you need to do and not have no issues talking about where my food at.
I think I always say men should know how to cook because I get sick. I have children, and there's sometimes, right? There are a few occasions where I have to come up out of the kitchen.
Yes.
Like, nobody's sending us over, like, food for 6 weeks when the baby comes home from the hospital. You
No.
do need to know how to cook. I don't want to cook 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. I do want to cook most of them. I don't have a problem. I do enjoy cooking.
Yes.
But you do have to be able to get up and scramble your eggs,
Be a little bit of a dick. I'm going to challenge that.
Come on.
I want to challenge it.
What are you challenging exactly? Tell me exactly.
Yeah,
what part
I
of
got
my
you because I
statement
want
are you
to
challenging
entertain a
exactly?
conversation, right? I'll take care of the bills sometimes, but days I get sick. So somebody gotta take care of the bills if I don't take care of them.
Yeah,
Somebody gotta go to work.
We both work.
Somebody
we both work. So
right? But
I have some of the bills.
But we in my house.
I have the sum.
Right?
No, we're in our house. Yeah, we're in our house.
Okay, I paid for it before you got here.
No, you didn't.
No?
No, you didn't. We bought this together.
So apparently we bought a house together that I bought by myself.
Whatever we did is ours.
Everything that when my check comes in, now all of a sudden it's our check.
No, it's been our check. It's always been ours.
Right?
Trust and believe. It's always.
It's always ours.
He only works for me. We do understand that concept.
Yeah, right?
He only goes to work
So
for me.
with that mentality being stated, if I say to you, look, I don't really feel like going to work today, right?
Stay your ass home.
And I say I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah.
Right?
You better have leave
Then the lights
Don't let my
turn off.
goddamn check come up short. I don't know. We ain't even playing with no bills. Listen,
No,
Linda.
lights off.
Listen, Linda, I will rattle them pans 21 times a week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Okay, to make sure them bills is paid. Okay,
See?
that's only if I'm home. That's only if I'm home. 100% of the time. If we both work 40 hours a week. Yeah, it's going to be some bit of a balance where maybe Saturday mornings, if my mom calls me up and she's the type who wants to shop till she drops. She wants to leave out at 6 a.m. and comes back at like midnight type of thing. I'm not cooking for you that day, bro. No, get your ass up and scramble you up some eggs. I went out that day. Spa day. Me and my mom just went to the spa. Yeah, I can't cook you breakfast this morning. Here's some cereal. You don't want that? Go in there and scramble you some eggs.
But that's not a problem because at least you're doing it. This woman ain't doing shit. They can't even burn water.
They can't burn water. Yeah, Come on, I'm gonna start a cooking channel. Damn that. We're gonna get y'all the cooking channel. We're gonna have to get the cooking channel.
Yes.
Jesus. Oh, I could recommend a few. I could recommend a few.
You need to. Trust me.
Man.
Yes, bad.
Man.
The crux of what I'm saying is that if there's an expectation on me to make sure that the bills are taken care of, that I go to work, that I have these things done, right? If you meet me, because a lot of women nowadays want to meet the guy at the end, right? How many times we hear, I want a 6-figure guy, I want an alpha male,
That shit was new to me. I never even heard somebody in real life out loud say they wanted.
I used to hear that shit all the time.
This shit was real weird. Okay, and if you want somebody, it's just like the dating thing, right? You date the people you know.
Yes.
Right. So if you don't know any 6-figure brothers, how you gonna? Because generally speaking, we all in the same group together. Like, what's happening together? We like.
Exactly.
It was weird.
It's a weird idea, but a lot of women will sit here and say, I want a 6-figure man, I want a 6-figure man. Kevin Samuels, God rest his soul, I don't give a shit. How you feel about this man? What he was saying, if you listen to him.
That was Uncle Kev.
It was very true. How he went about it, we can argue back and forth, but what he wanted to do was get black people back together. And all he was saying is if you're not willing to grow with somebody, meaning you want somebody at the end result, guess what they've also done when they get to that point? They've also found a way to live without you. If a guy makes enough money that he can take care of his household, he pays all of his bills, he's introducing you into his world, guess what? You are now another expenditure.
Hold on. So you saying that me and you lived together and you were already made, and so that's what you meant. I moved into your house.
That's what I'm saying.
Nah, bro, that was our house.
You like it was our house.
Or Kev talking about ain't no prenup up in here.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, but I could burn now. I could cook now. You ain't got to figure for too long, because if you worth it, then baby, let's go with it.
Right. See,
yeah.
But there is the issue. Now you got a guy who's rolling like that. And let's say you're a woman and you're rolling like that.
Yeah.
Now there has to be some sort of compromise.
Except that it's not even the financial thing that I'm trying to tackle. It's really the sense of
the growth together.
It's the growth together.
Yeah, people don't want to be.
Nobody wants to grow together,
Yeah.
right? If I get to my apex without you, right, and I'm up here. If I make 6 figures, right, people fail to realize, depending on where you live, 6 figures is a shit ton of money.
I mean, it's a shit ton.
It's a shit ton of money depending on where you live.
Yes.
No, not where we are. 6 figures is whatever. But if you live in Texas, right?
Okay.
So your 6 figures is going to stretch.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Stretch so much so that anything that you could naturally provide as a woman can be purchased.
Yeah.
I don't need you to pay for the bills. I don't give a shit what you work. Because all my money.
Oh, you're saying all the
everything.
services that the woman provides inside the household you cannot afford.
You could technically afford.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
right?
fair.
You can technically afford that. Like I can afford somebody to come in here and cook. I can afford somebody to come in here and clean.
Unless you can't cook like me.
But then that has to be something different. You have to be able to.
You gotta sell.
You have to sell it. You gotta sell something.
Yep.
But you can't come in there and say, I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to clean. Or I'm not gonna cook for a nigga. I'm not gonna clean for a nigga.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna do those things, right? What you just said to me is you're gonna come into my house and be an extra expenditure, and I get nothing in return.
It's like a dog, though. You don't say that type of stuff to the dog. You
But
just get
you
a
can't
dog.
expect-
You know what I'm saying? And the dog get to just sit on the couch and do nothing.
Right, but a dog's not gonna yell at me. A dog's not gonna give me a headache, except for his natural being a dog antics. He gonna show me love when I want love. If I come home and I'm having a rough day, he gonna bark and smile on my face, or she gonna bark and smile on my face. I'm like, oh, that's so.
I'll be like, what's wrong with you?
Why you?
So you don't want to tell me
Yep.
what's wrong?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel a certain type of way.
Right, you're like, why? What you mad for?
I have to. You're going to.
It's a fact. You gonna be mad, and then I'm gonna come home and think, what the fuck did I bring you here for? Because you're not doing anything to help.
So are you saying that in addition to showing up with the attitudes, we can't meet you all halfway?
You're not willing to be halfway.
Oh, now that's deep. Because the very idea that we can. Because you're saying basically women can do something in the kitchen they're not willing to, right? And if you're not willing to start, you can't grow from there, right?
Grow from that.
And
Yes.
if you can clean, but you rather sit on the couch all day on YouTube, Facebook,
Just like you
on
would get, as a
Facebook.
woman, you would be upset with your man if he was in the house and he didn't clean. If he was in your house and he didn't even attempt to help cook. And you're the one that makes money.
vacation?
No, if y'all are literally doing the flip roles, right? You're the woman, you the one who go to work. He at home for some god unknown reason. You get a nigga who want to stay
He
at home.
don't work as comp or something, because
he needs to earn his way in the house.
Yeah.
Because you'd be
not
damned
staying
if you go to
home.
work and then you gonna come home and clean and then you gonna come home and cook and that nigga just gonna sit there all day.
Yeah, now he's sick that day. Something.
Shit, he better be sick. Yeah, exactly.
He better be sick.
Yes.
Yeah, now he's an invalid for the next few weeks. Because,
Don't do anything.
yeah.
The same
So as a
person
woman,
applies.
I'm not pretty enough to just sit at home on the couch all day.
But if I call you my trophy wife and I say, girl, the only thing you're good for is looking pretty.
Can't be your, like, that's disrespectful.
Is it being disrespectful? Is that the exact way you're carrying yourself?
But again,
The only thing that you're worth is what you look like. Which means if that's how you're gonna be, if that's the only thing I value you for, then fine. That means I better see your ass in the gym all the time. You better, when I come home,
I
you
thought
better
it
be
came
made up.
natural. So it's now you want me to work out to look good?
You better be maintaining your looks
Oh,
in
okay.
all way, shape, and form. Because guess what? As
To
you
be
get
a
older,
trophy wife.
if your only asset is you look pretty. A lot of women say, I look pretty, I got bomb pussy. Great. Then that pussy better stay bomb and you better always look good. That's what you're because if you came to me and my only selling point was I got money, then guess what, nigga? Your bank account better not get less.
not run out.
It better not run out.
nope, because you're doing your part.
And I'm doing my part. I keep my job. I make sure that the roof stays on my head. I keep the big bucks coming in. You stay looking good. You make sure that coochie stay on fleek for me. Fine. But what ends up happening is a woman will say, but he's never home. He never feels why I'm emotional. I never get a chance to talk to him because he's always running. Right. But if that's how I maintain my money, and that's the only thing that's the only thing that initially attracted you to me.
First of all,
Listen, y'all heard of me today, okay? Because he's never home. Yeah, I needed more than money. I didn't know that.
See?
I didn't know that at first, but I
Yes.
need time and attention too.
But see,
that's what I
that's-
need.
that's
what I
the
didn't.
problem.
I didn't know that though.
I
didn't
want to
know
come home and not be stressed out. I want to come home to somebody.
I didn't know that my emotions were gonna stress you out. 'Cause
Here's
that's
a
what
guy.
it be, right?
But
Right
you know
at
what?
the door.
But you know, but here's the thing: nobody seems to think about. These guys are top tier guys, or guys that make six figures.
Mm-hmm.
They are in a different mind space that you can't read a book on it.
Okay.
It's one of those things you can't say, oh, well, I've seen how they think. They think differently because they're moving differently. And a lot of people have never seen people who make that kind of money move. They move and think differently.
And sometimes they move and think differently at home compared to at
Yes,
work.
they do.
So you'll be at work and you'll be like, well, why is that at work? Every time like there's a big decision to be made, he can make a choice. But when we at home and I say, what you want to do for dinner, he go,
first of all, you tired.
Because he's tired.
And
Exactly.
tired of making all the damn choices.
There you go.
Oh, you saying you don't even know how to take care of these brothers. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Because
yeah.
here's a prime
Yeah.
example. I'll be sitting there at work, C-suiting, and I'm 3 computers, a laptop, and I'm having meetings left and right, and I'm going back and forth. And then I get my phone rings, beeps, and says, babe, what you want for dinner? Do you know that's the last thing I'm fucking thinking about is dinner? I know I have to think about it, but it's 1 o'clock. I still have 3 or 4 other meetings with the bank, with an insurance guy, with a couple people I work with, some other business I'm trying to
So,
hook up.
but I wasn't being polite by asking you what you wanted.
No,
for
it
dinner?
was polite because I'm gonna say whatever.
It's just
Really, honestly, what you would be better off saying is, I'm thinking about making A, B, C.
Yep.
What do you think?
Choose one.
Or I'm making A for dinner tonight. How's that sound?
I'm not even communicating none of that. Just by the way.
And that's cool too.
That's cool
Just
too.
stir the
Because
pot.
that means by the time I come
Yeah, the
home,
food's done.
food should be there.
Yeah,
You know,
you're
it's
straight.
and let me tell you what you can't do. What you can't do is a dude that's making that kind of loot. And he comes home, and it smells like
It smell like
Ajax in here. What the
Stop
hell?
it.
It's Ajax. What the
Wow.
fuck? Baby.
Yeah, no, that hurts.
And see, in your head, you're like, baby, what we having for dinner?
So
You know what? I thought we were going to take me out. And my mind said, what the fuck? Did I say that? Well, no. Well, you was busy and I didn't feel like cooking nothing. I'm thinking, well, why? We got stuff in the refrigerator, stuff in the freezer. You can pull it up. We got some Omaha steaks down there.
she said it's her off day. But you still on.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there like, she ain't cook shit. And now I'm irritated because now I'm like, I got to go out. I just was on the road for an hour and a half to get back home.
Right.
Now I got to get back. Okay, let me get dressed. Now you ain't dressed? I didn't know you was going to come. It doesn't matter. You know I'm going to come around this time somehow.
Yeah.
You should have been dressed. So since
Especially if we were going out, or you would have ordered food.
Exactly.
Because at the very least you can do is make my life
easier. That's the thing when women fail to realize. When you're that kind of guy, when you make that ain't money. It's the job.
No, it's the money.
I just feel like it doesn't matter which way. If you sign up to take care of a man, right? You signed up to take care of him, right?
Yes.
However much money he bring home, you accepted that pay, right? Our job is to make each other's life easier, right?
There you
to pour
go.
into each other, to give to each other.
Yes.
And so we need to figure out what each other is in need of and how I can give you what you can't be given to
But
yourself.
here's the thing: you also have to be willing to do it. The thing is, what we're saying today isn't new.
Right.
Men always say these very same things because we're telling women at all times, hey, if you do just this very small section of thing, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna probably bag any guy you want because you can just execute here, make his life easier. Just figure out where the potholes are in his life and fill them bitches. You will be able to bag any nigga you want.
And
keep 'em.
And keep them. And
So
here's
that's the point.
And here's the other thing. There's not many six-figure guys in the country. Let's just think about it. Yeah, but in the country, if you're looking for a six-figure dude, that's half the guys. No. You're probably dealing with probably 10% or less of guys who make 100,000 and up. Because again, there's not many guys.
And there's only 1% of those that are black.
Now, if you narrow it down to blacks, 1%. So what you're saying is 99% of the women are looking for the 1% guy. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that 1%.
And you saying that one time you find them, you don't know how to take care of them.
And if you find them, you don't know how to take care of them.
Because the thing is, most women don't know 1%ers.
See, this is the thing. You say how to take care of the guy who makes six figures. No, you need practice. This is just how you take care of a man. If you take damn good care of a man, by the time you find this brother, you know how to take care of this brother also.
Let me tell you a personal story. When I first started dating my wife, back in the day, I made, in a 2-week span, my paycheck was $391.20 for 2 weeks with a college education. And at that point, which is, when you think back, it's like, God damn, it ain't no money.
Right.
And it wasn't. But she said, she saw me as that. Over the years, kept working, getting better and better and better. So she ended up with who I am now, the guy who's in that percentile. But she didn't meet me when I was making that money. She met me when I was on the grind trying to get there. But she also knew that, hey, I have to be there to support wherever I can. So it was kind of like she did what she did to back the family. I did what I had to do, but we worked together. And I think a lot of people don't think, they won't want to put the work in. They want to catch a guy there.
No, I don't think that that's what's happening. I think that women feel like they put so much work in and that shit just stopped. It just was like you put work in on this guy. Played you out. Put work on this guy. Played you out. And the more times you put work in on these jokers and you feel like you got nothing from it, now you becoming an opportunist like we talked about how the males are.
Now that goes back to the woman. Because if you got burned, everybody gets burned. In this relationship game, everybody gets burned because that's just the way it is. The key
That's
is
the fact.
fact. What did you learn? If you didn't
No,
sit
you're
back,
not learning.
so you just jump from relationship to relationship,
Yeah,
and hoping
you got bitter, you got angry, you got an attitude, you took baggage with you, and you didn't quite really learn anything. You learned that you shouldn't do that again, and that you better do something different. But you didn't learn what was appropriate and where you went wrong at.
Nope.
Because obviously you made a mistake. Because point blank period, you are the common denominator from all those relationships.
He had to do it like that.
It's a sad reality because there's a lot of beautiful women out here who got kids, 1 or 2, 3 more, whatever, and they just can't find happiness.
Well, I mean, if you had 2 or 3 kids, that's why you can't find happiness. You lost that one.
But you know what?
3 kids though.
But
know.
there are guys
Yeah.
that would date a woman like that because she has such
I know plenty of girls. I know, that's a lie. Let me take it back. Let me
saying,
rewind.
you know what
If my mouth was wide open, like, I know plenty of girls. Lies.
But you know, and then there are people who will find someone who has,
Just like there are ugly niggas who will eventually bag a beautiful girl and not have no money. Just because there are exceptions to the rule doesn't mean the rule doesn't exist. In most cases, if you're gonna fuck around and have no discipline to at the very least keep your legs closed with niggas you aren't sure of, and you have multiple children and you end up by yourself, you can't be mad at nobody else but yourself. You can't blame the nigga that was here three children ago. Like, why didn't he marry me? Or why didn't the second nigga marry me when he gave me kids?
Damn that. Blame the first baby daddy. He should have married you. Yeah.
The third one.
Because the second one really promised you up some real shit. Yeah, so really blame him. That was a destination wedding. And the third... You already know.
yes,
You already know.
yes.
The third one, yeah.
But then you're mad. But now
Clarence,
you
right?
have
You mad that you wanted Clarence, right?
You are mad as shit because now, again, you made these decisions that got you wherever you are. But now every guy that comes to you, still you looking at him as a prospect. Oh, he's like that other motherfucker. Like we said in a few podcasts before, you start looking at everybody as the same. And that's not the case because now you have to take ownership for the mistakes you made. And that goes both with guys too.
I think it's more than the mistakes that you've made. It's you have to take ownership for how you've moved inside the relationship.
Thank you.
Right?
Ownership.
Yeah.
Accountability.
You have to own the choices that you made because clearly in situations where you should have went left, you went right. And you gotta say, I realized I wanted to have kids, but technically, in hindsight, the very first child that I had, I maybe should have not had children outside of wedlock, right?
Yep.
And that, you went to the right and you should have went to the left. And you have to be okay with that and understand that I did that. I have to own that, right? That was mine. I have to accept that. And then I have to move on from there and move on in a way where I'm not doing it twice, right? Because if you owned that choice that you did make, right? Because you did lay down. You did decide to have a baby, right?
Yes.
And I mean, generally speaking, the condom didn't break, right?
No.
You just probably laid down and had regular, raw sex, and the baby came, and then you decided to keep the baby. I'm not telling you to get rid of your child or nothing like that, but you did decide to keep the child, and then you did it again. And then it happened again. And
it could be the same person, too.
But you still didn't choose to make sure that person married you and became responsible for you, and y'all didn't make a plan to grow and thrive together. And that's the choice that's not being made.
No.
And that's what you have. Like, you have that right. You have control in that scenario, in that arena.
Yes.
But you're not exercising that control.
Yes, and the other thing is you just can't assume anything. I think a lot of women, once they think they have a kid by a guy, they assume that he's going to do the right thing. Oh, I got his kid, so he's got to do the right thing. That's never the case. That hasn't been the case since Adam and Eve.
No. Is it an assumption, or did he pillow talk me up and tell me he was going to do the right thing?
Well, see, okay. Now we're there. Because now as a
Told me
woman,
everything I needed to hear last night, baby.
that's true. That's true. You're
You
true.
know how it goes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So now, as a woman, you can't let that slide because if he pillow talked you that and told you all that, you got to hold his feet to the fire. Because if he just said that and then all of a sudden you don't hear about it for another 6-7 months, and you're like, whoa, we talked about that 6-7 months ago. He never bring it up.
Yeah.
You now need to put his feet to the fire and say, hey, we talked about this 6-7 months ago. When are you gonna make me honest? When you gonna right this ship?
Hold people accountable.
And if he start hemming and hawing, well, babe, you know, I was some pillow talk. If I were you, you better do something.
Shotgun.
Or you
better call your daddy and tell your daddy pull out that shotgun.
come to my house, tap on that door.
You don't like it?
No.
I think it's true. If you, as a guy, I will say, I can't fathom how women fall for half the shit they fall for. Can't fathom.
I don't think they fall for half of it. They
fall
just
for
accept
bullshit.
it. Nah, they just accept the bullshit.
But why?
Because it's serving you on some level. Like I just wanted his attention. So all the other bullshit, I'll take that bullshit because I just wanted his attention. Or I just wanted his money. So all the other bullshit, I'm gonna have to take all that other bullshit because, I just really wanted the money. Or I just wanted a car, right? So all the other, or I needed a place to stay. So all the other bullshit,
damn.
I mean, at least
So-
I got a place to stay. So yeah, so a lot of times I don't think they fall for it. It just comes with all the other bullshit.
No, but you fall for it in the sense of you can't sit here and say he pillow talked me, convinced me that he was gonna be better.
No, he did that.
Well, he talked to me. He told me
He
sweet
swore
nothing in
me
my
that he
ear.
wasn't gonna do that no more.
I'm gonna do right by you, girl.
And I was like, you sure?
And see,
You sure?
See, and that's the
You
difference.
promise?
And he will. The boy will promise because again, the boy wants to make sure he can continue to get all that he wants to get.
The opportunist.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you fall for it, and again, you accept what we tell you. Again, we kick.
Because I needed to. I needed to because I had to take what I needed, and I needed for you to say something to me to make me sleep easier at night. Like, at least he loved me. Let me go to sleep.
Yeah, he says it, but hasn't done anything.
I think that's the reality that a lot of people live in it. Yeah, no, he ain't did none of that shit. No.
Wow. And not gonna do nothing.
No.
He wakes up every fucking day.
Because there's no way anybody who's gonna have a child is gonna wait till month 5, 6, 7, 8 to. Oh man, I guess maybe we should go ahead and start getting ready for that. Like, no. If the guy really wants to be with you and he really wants to take care of your child, the instant you tell him he's pregnant, your life is changing. He's immediately going to any real man is going to put the work in to change what's going on.
I'ma just say true.
Yes, because
I'ma
when
just say true.
Hey, when my wife said, "Hey, I'm pregnant, about to have our son," you'll ask her. She'll say, "I said, okay." She said, what the hell does that mean? We're about to have a kid. I gotta make sure that we're good, and I take care of it. She said, "That's all you said." And then after that, you was running around. You was super dad 101. I said because at that point, there's more childish games.
Yeah.
This is a child
That
now.
I'm about to take care of my. Yeah, I got business to handle.
I got business to handle. This is no time for no bullshit. And again, well, what can your mama and daddy do? Maybe see if I check my mom and daddy. Fuck them. They weren't there when all this is going on. It's our responsibility. And so again, women, don't go for the fucking pillow talk. Look at the actions. If he's not really putting the effort for it, then you're dealing with a boy. So then you expect boy shit to happen. And then you're mad. I can't believe he didn't do what
Because
the
men
fuck.
are actions.
Yeah.
Women are words, men are action.
Yes.
Point blank, period. Because a man will appreciate what actions you do for him, just a woman appreciates what is being said to them.
Yes.
That's true. I kind of.
And you got to stand by it. If you're a ride or die, a man will appreciate a ride and die and will make you his wife. And he would make sure that you're taken care of. You were the one for shit. You don't want for a goddamn thing. You shouldn't worry about nothing. Why? Because I got you. I got all this. And if something happens to me, you got me because you know, hey, we're all in this together. Make sure that we're good to go. We always say in our house, if everybody say they're broke, everybody broke. We're not like, well, shit, you broke. I got money. Well, no, we're a unit. So we all, your money is my money is your money.
Right.
And we working on this together. But a lot of women don't make guys accountable. They listen to the pillow talk, they look at the fuck shit, they look at the boys they're dealing with, and then expect that boy, he gonna grow up to be a man one day. No.
I mean, that go right back to being alone. Because part of holding someone accountable is letting them go.
Yes.
When they are not, delivering on what was said.
Yes.
Straight
and
up.
Women spend years with dudes that they know ain't gonna do no better. No, they're not.
Yeah.
Hoping upon, oh Lord, please make him better. He ain't gonna be no better. He gonna be the same lazy son of a bitch that you get up every day with, and he ain't striving for shit. Your car broke. I guess we gotta do something with the car. He ain't gonna go out there and get a second job or anything to help the car get a new car. I guess you gotta work overtime. Cause I ain't gonna try to cut into my gaming and shit. I ain't trying to do, I gotta go and get a job. No, I ain't trying to do that shit.
Especially when somebody matters to me. Yeah. Like if you matter to me, then yeah, I'm going out my way. Like,
I'm gonna bust my
we're gonna make sure that your car is good.
Yep.
But if you just are random or if you just whatever, then that's when you get well, how you good? Yeah. You got that?
Look at you. That's hilarious.
Yes.
Big ass eyes and shit. Like,
Yeah. You good.
what you want me to do? Because a guy who doesn't care about you is going to ask you, what do you want me to do? Well, a guy who does care is going to say, what do we need to get done?
What
And then
do
we always
need?
want to cling to the guy who's looking at you like, what you want me to do?
You want the dependent. You want the dependent. You want the dude you can write off on your goddamn taxes that you can't write off on your taxes.
Yeah.
And then you
I don't
wonder
know
why
why.
he's not man up. He ain't the man I thought he was. He's not he's a
But
dependent.
maybe it's the
Damn.
attraction. Like, maybe it's the chemistry that y'all share.
But at some point that you can't be a fool.
Like, I just can't let him go.
That's fine.
Let him go.
But then don't be
Leave it at
upset
that,
when he eventually doesn't perform, or you guys end up on the street, or he leave you for some other woman, or y'all have a kid and now you can't find him because he showed you who he was. And my thing is, if you don't have a crisis with somebody, how the hell you gonna expect to have kids with them? Why the hell would you ever get married to him? You never experienced a crisis with that nigga ever in life. So what happens if y'all have a crisis and he just folds? Like the house catch fire, he end up outside, you sitting there in the house coughing, smoking shit. Man, I was making breakfast and then the kitchen caught fire. So you came outside and you didn't come get me?
He good.
I was trying to get away from the fire.
I ain't want to get burned up.
But
Well,
he
what
had
I
to
mean the
take care of
kids?
himself.
Oh, well, I thought you smelled it.
I think y'all was gonna be good. I thought if I smell smoke, y'all smell smoke.
Exactly. We everybody good. So now you sit there like, this motherfucker right here
Ain't worth shit.
ain't worth shit. And I had a baby by this motherfucker. Babies by this motherfucker. 3 babies by this motherfucker. And then you're looking at, why did I make this decision? What the hell was I thinking about? Well, again, it goes back to what's your need? What need did he fill? He fulfilled some sort of need within. He fulfilled some space in you that you didn't want to fill yourself or couldn't fill yourself.
I mean, he filled the space, but he also left you empty in several other spaces, and you were okay with that.
You know what you actually did? He filled one space, but then you took a space that was filled and was filling it in for his space. So now
It's called
you
a
end up,
subsidy.
yes. So
You
now you
subsidize his love.
There you
I
go.
lost my favorite, because don't we do it? Yeah, no,
Yes.
well, yeah. And I call it a lot of times, we go back to our dads. Like somehow you got a man, but you keep running back to your father. I know you ain't married. And you keep calling, like, I ain't saying you call up your dad when you need your dad. You know your dad's still here. That's a blessing. But there's some women who real life married. And anything that's needed, they're going to go to their dad. And it's like, you're not really married, though.
No.
Ideally, your father should be able to look at you and say, why are you calling me first? Why don't you talk to your husband? Because ideally, your husband should be the one that should be the first point of contact when some shit goes sideways.
Always first point of contact, and then at that point, we're going to figure it out. Now, unless somehow he may have experience in something that we may name. We go to ask your dad because he's a carpenter.
No, but you going to go ask him.
Oh, yeah.
Because I done told you.
Yep, and
what
now
I
I'm going
was
to figure it out.
in
And
need
then I
of.
was like, okay, I can't figure it out. Then I'm going to go and,
Yeah,
hey,
now you
I'm trying
go
to do
holler
this.
at him. Yeah.
But go ask your mom. Go ask your daddy about that. Then,
No.
whoa, what the what did I
Go holler
marry?
at him. Yeah.
So because a real guy's gonna be annoyed that you called your father.
Yes. What the hell you call your daddy for?
Why didn't you let me figure this shit out?
I would got that. But see, these are little things that women should know. When you hear these little things, you should say that is a red flag like shit.
I've seen women get offended by talking to them on this level.
Wow.
Yeah, because I'm telling you, your husband's not adequate, or your significant other, the person that you laying down with. I'm telling you, they're not adequate, basically, and so you're offended. You're offended.
Yes.
You know.
What do you mean he ain't?
you're-
Well, he's
yeah,
not. I can
like,
tell you.
yeah.
Why? Because you lived that life. See, people who live this life
Mm-hmm.
can look at somebody who don't live his life and say, that's wrong. That's wrong. Two left shoes.
And it's not to say they should replace your father, but damn, real close to it. Real
You would
close to it.
think that that's what, when you walked down the aisle and
And he gave you away.
He
Remember?
he gave you away. He didn't just say, well, take care of it until you don't need something.
Yeah,
Then-
return the sender when you know, when y'all like needing something. I don't know.
No.
Nah, none of that was said.
None of that. And then they fail badly. And then they're pissed off. I can't believe she called me a sucker. But you are a sucker. Wait, real men know you're a sucker.
Yeah.
But you don't want to, you so wrapped up in the title, do something about it. If you know you lax, let me do better. Because I can't make my family better if I'm
Yeah,
fucked up.
because generally you go to the man, right? And whenever y'all start on your journey together, right? I go to you for, let's say I need a picture hung, right? I can call my dad.
Yeah.
Dad, I need a picture hung. Can you come hang up my pictures for me? Sure, I got you, baby girl. No problem. I'll be over there on Sunday. Okay. And he'll do it because he's been hanging pictures for, 20, 30 years now, right? Now I ask you, my spouse, to hang the picture, and you're like, oh, I ain't really never hung no pictures before, but I guess I can kind of try, to do it, right? First time you do it, maybe a little lopsided, but it's okay. That's our first home,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
5 homes later, and now you're a pro.
Yes.
That's growing together.
Yes.
That's why I called you the first time and not him. I ain't give a damn if that picture came out lopsided, but I just know that I need for you to be able to do the things that I need for us to accomplish.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to expect more from him. You're supposed
And hold him accountable.
Yes. 2 adults.
Yep.
2 adults, not 2 kids.
Yep.
2 adults.
2 adults.
But women seem to find the boys most of the time. And I don't know if they do it purposely or that's just what they do.
I just think when you have a really strong personality, you either one clash very heavily with someone else who has a strong personality. In most cases, I would say. So you find somebody who's more amenable, right? But if you're a strong personality woman, a guy who also has a strong personality, you guys are probably going to clash. A lot.
Yes. Yes.
More than probably you would desire in
Need a
any
checklist. God damn
Yes. Yes. We need a goddamn checklist
it. Yeah.
because
I don't know what number we on by now.
but we
That's another one, right?
Yes.
Strong
yes.
personalities make it hard for us to date.
Because
Yeah.
you both want to be alphas. Everybody want to be the alpha in a relationship. And it's,
Which is different than an attitude, right? A strong personality.
Yes, different
right?
attitude.
It's different than just like you having an attitude. You can have an attitude with a strong personality. Personality.
have no attitude
And,
and have a strong
and you can have no attitude and
Yep.
still have a very strong personality.
Absolutely.
They're not one and the same.
Nope.
Right?
Nope.
And it comes off as being, again, I hate to say it comes off as being masculine, but it does.
Yeah, because that's a guy trait. That's a if
Yeah.
you're strong. And again,
It's like
if
I
I'm
won't
a
let
guy,
you lead.
and if that's the case, what's the purpose of our relationship?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we're just two alphas just banging heads, and so we're trying to
It's like
accomplish
2
what?
lemons. We ain't got no damn lemonade. Where's the water? Where's the
We
sugar?
got shit. We just got
We ain't got no jar.
yes.
Damn.
And you have to
Can't
be
be
able
the same.
to. That's the problem. Everybody wants to be, especially if you're a woman who's been by yourself for a while and you've been doing everything yourself.
Yeah.
It's hard for you to relinquish that behavior because you've been the
Yes.
lead for so long. Now
You've
there's
been the
another guy.
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And now the guy
You
comes in.
say
and-
one wrong thing to me, I can do it by myself. I can though.
And that's
don't want
awesome.
to. I just
Then
don't want
continue
to,
do it
though.
by yourself, and I'll go find somebody else who's willing to take my.
Damn, so you just let her. He said he cold. He said you just let her do it.
Yeah.
But then go do it by yourself.
Yeah, because that's yep, yes, and that's the truth. Because then what happens is those are saying women, I can't find a good guy. I can't
Yeah.
find a man out there. There ain't nobody here for me.
Yeah.
Well, if you step back, shut the fuck up, and just look at the guys that you're talking to, and then sit yourself aside for a moment and say, you know what? that's the kind of guy I need. I need someone to take a lead. I've been leading for so long. I don't want to lead no more. I just want to be a part of something.
But can we take the step back and not lead anymore, even though we don't want
That's
to lead
the
anymore?
problem, because you date the wrong cat. So if you date the wrong guy and you give him the ownership or leadership, that motherfucker gonna lead you right on the side of the road because you picked the wrong one to lead you. He couldn't lead himself out of a goddamn hole with a GPS and a map.
So now you're guarded and you don't want
Yes.
to relinquish that.
Because
right?
you pick,
Let somebody else lead.
you let somebody else who's trash do it multiple times. Not
Mm-hmm.
one, because you should have learned from the first one. You said, damn, I make sure I'm gonna find that. But you end up having multiple dudes who did the same shit, and you mad at him. Don't be mad at him.
Yeah.
Be mad at yourself because you
Yeah.
keep picking the same motherfucker and keep. That's insanity. Do the same shit over and over and expect a different result.
Yeah.
It's not going to be different. Now all you're doing
It was
now.
a different guy though.
Different guy, different guy, yet same
type
guy.
of brother. Yeah.
So, but now along the way, age starts to kick in because
Mm-hmm.
now you're getting older. Because you're not just it's not happening in a 6-month period. It's happening over a period of
yeah,
time.
5 years
Because
with one
guess
guy,
what?
7
You
years
get
with another
hurt.
guy. Yeah.
Exactly, because you get hurt,
Yep.
you gotta lick your wounds. All right, let me get back on the dating market. You find somebody else, you get hurt, you gotta lick your wounds. Let's say you start at 20, right? You could be 3 guys deep and be 35,
Easily.
right? And never have had 3 different long-term relationships and it just don't work out. But like we said before, it goes back to finding people, especially if you're looking at a man, find a guy who shows you his worth through his actions, not what he says. You can't worry about what a nigga says. You have to pay attention to what he does. Because men cannot fake what they do. They can fake what they say. But any real guy, any guy, period, if he's a trash nigga, you will see it. He physically will show you at all times. If it's a good dude, he will physically show you at all times.
Yep.
Lesson.
Yep. Yes. And the other thing, ladies, please stop looking at the superficial shit. Stop looking at how I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go here. Stop looking at he got a big dick. You know he look good.
How
he
do
got
we
some
know
money.
that off the jump?
Y'all know he got a big dick.
No, we don't.
Y'all look
we
at
don't
first
even
thing you
talk
like.
about that.
Well, y'all
We ain't even texting
listen.
each other. You got,
Y'all looking down at y'all looking at that shit because again you'll say, oh, you know what? He may not have no job. He may not have this, but he got a big dick.
Nah, I don't nobody need to say that because that don't pay no bills.
But there's a lot of women that will do anything because you know what? He ain't doing that, but he keeps me happy.
And that could be fine if that's the relationship that you want. If you just want a guy who just gives you good dick, just like there are men who just want a girl who gives them good pussy and that's it. That could be what you strive for in your life. We're not judging none of that.
No.
But we're saying if you want an actual relationship, you actually want a partner in life, you want your Bonnie, you want your Clyde, then them niggas have got to be better. You yourself have got to be better.
I'm going to actually step on that and say, no, you actually can't rock out with a man who does nothing because intrinsically he doesn't feel like a man.
Of course.
And he's going to be depressed, he's just going to be offish, and that shit eventually is going to eat you up because he's going to start being whack, and that bedroom play that used to be great in the beginning, the shit going to start going downhill because he's not feeling like a man.
Nope.
So you could play around with old boy if they want to. But that shit, those jokers got to get kicked to the curb, and then you end up having to find another one, down the road to fill old boy's shoes because he fell off because he's not being a man.
And men.
Whereas women,
we
we can sit around unemployed and just be your woman
Yes.
and be prideful in our role and be okay in our role.
And a lot of guys will take care of
Yeah.
you because you fulfilled a need of mine. And if all that you fulfill my need, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
But you got to have, and a guy, the man has to know what that need is, because boys don't know. Boys are like children. They just, she's feeding me. She put a roof over my head. I'm good.
Yeah.
A man ain't happy. That's what his his mind, that's what I need to do. But if she fulfills other things and we get along together and we're good, then we're fine. We're great. But you really, really have to understand, what do you really want from someone in a relationship before you start going out there and just picking people and then think it doesn't work out. Again, if you don't know who you are, then how the hell you gonna pick up someone for you when you don't know who the hell you are?
Yeah, and we keep on doing it.
And we have to stop, because all we're doing is just perpetuating the same crazy shit that's been going on. And you got a lot of women out there who are desperately looking to find somebody, but they don't know who they are.
Well, it sounds like we created the cycle, right? You jump into the dating realm. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you're looking for. You refuse to properly vet someone.
Oh, God, yes.
Right? You get hurt. You get scorned. You take that baggage. And now it creates all these crazy traits on you. Attitudes, masculine approaches, personalities just whack.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
Yeah. And we're just now creating this whole big cycle.
Exactly.
How we get out?
We're going to have to do some self-reflection. Really, true self-reflection. And that means you have to do the work. We always go back to doing the work, but that means you have to stop.
What's the first step? If we doing the work, I would say stop sleeping with people.
Stop sleeping with people.
Right
off the bat. Stop fucking people. Stop before you get to that point. Can you sit down
Have
at
a
a
regular
coffee
date.
shop somewhere and just fucking
yeah.
talk to them?
Good date. Nobody wants to spend no real money.
Yes.
Because the older guy's scared somebody gonna take advantage. I don't want to pay for the trips to Ruth's Chris.
Yes.
Whatever, cheap ass. Coffee shop date, little. I don't know. It can be middle of the day. We ain't going to no coffee shop if you dating me in the evening. I just want everybody to know that. That should be weird. But yeah, regular date, I would say.
Yes.
Start with a regular date and be okay with ending that regular date at the end of dinner. That's the end.
Or the end of your coffee, y'all. Because the thing is,
He back to the coffee. I ain't buying dating.
Yep.
My thing is, like, if you, in life, in general, life is ups and downs. Big moments and lulls. What happens is when we start relationships, everybody wants to be on fucking Mount Everest. At the very apex, just hanging out.
Because it feels
so good. The
I
words
love it.
around your head. The air's all crisp, and you can feel it just in your lungs. Every time you take a deep breath, it's awesome. But guess what? At some point, you're gonna be in the valley.
It's like falling off the peak.
Yes, you're gonna be in the valley, and that peak's gonna look so far away. But imagine if you got started at the peak, at the valley. You start in the valley.
Yeah.
Like, hey man, let's just have a regular coffee date.
Yeah.
First things first. Well, let's go bowling.
Yeah.
Because we could be sexually compatible, all that other cool stuff. But what if I'm an atheist? You believe in Jesus?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a fundamental flaw that I'm not gonna find out when I'm fucking you. You and I are screaming, "Oh God!"
Yeah.
That don't mean nothing.
Yeah.
That's not gonna come out then.
Yep.
That's gonna come out when we sit on Everest. It's gonna come out when we in the valley and we just sitting here twiddling our thumbs. Like, if we're in the house together, what happens when we're in the same room together? Is it immediately we going for it?
Yes.
Or like, can we sit here and watch TV and like chuckle at what happened on the television?
I just need everybody to know that there's points in a woman's life where she can't have sex. So if you don't have nothing else to bring, the male or the female,
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
There's a problem.
Yes.
There's points where it was like, nah, she's close, she's done. Hold on, put her on pause. She needs a break. Hold on.
Yes.
A lot.
And that's what happens when you don't get to know who she is.
Yeah.
Now you're like, we got nothing to really talk about. So
After the baby come,
after
she
the
can't have sex.
like,
And
yes.
yeah,
Exactly.
and now you oh shit, we don't got nothing in common. You can't even hold a conversation. Like, damn.
We don't even like the same shit.
Yeah.
We can't even like. I buy Pepsi. You're like, I'm a Coke.
I'm a Coca-Cola drinker. Yeah.
Like,
That's
since when?
totally different taste. Yeah, but the same taste. Like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, so again, you have to be able to build a foundation with the person. If this the person that you really, really want to talk to, you have to get to know them.
Well, if you want it to last.
Yes.
If you want it to last.
If you just want to have good times, you just have good times, right?
Yes.
But if you guys are literally sitting here like on the cusp of saying, you know what, I think this might be something, kill your excitement. Kill the excitement. Murk that bitch and go to a coffee shop.
Yep.
Say, you know what, meet me at noon.
Yep.
Because guess what? You gotta go back to work, I go back to work.
Yep.
And our hormones aren't doing the same thing at noon.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Versus 6:30, 7 o'clock at night.
And there's no shots on the table. There's no champagne on
Nope.
the table at the coffee shop.
Nope.
Those spirits.
Yes.
They do a little something different to you. You know, he starts looking better. I start getting excited. He's like,
There
what
you
trying
go.
to do? I'm like, whatever you try.
There you go. And now we're at a step that we shouldn't be at.
Because we damn, how we get all the way up here? We ain't even what?
Exactly. So
Yeah.
that's what we need to start doing, and just take your time.
Yeah, I think that's excellent advice to start to
Yep.
approach you feeling like you can do the work. Just slow it down.
Slow it down. There's
Slow
no
it
rush.
down.
There's
Yeah.
no rush. You can't get to any place by rushing.
Nope.
I always say, run your life like a sailboat and not a speedboat. If I'm trying to get somewhere, if I know, I'm going to have to go to that island, and I know I'll get there. Let me take the sailboat because
Yeah.
I want to be able to see the fish. I want to
Yeah.
see the other boats. I want to see the
Enjoy
sun.
the
I want to
journey.
see the journey.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get there. If I take a speedboat, I done went past every goddamn thing to get there, but I missed everything.
And you get married, and now you're like, well, I remember when we were courting, life was way more exciting. Yeah, because you kept riding Everest to the finish line.
Yep.
And then thought that, like, okay, life is down, gonna hang out at Everest? Like, no.
No.
Because you'll
Not at all.
literally burn out if you stay on top. You're gonna have to come down. And if you don't come down willingly, you'll be forced to come down.
Yeah, you get knocked down.
Oh,
Yeah.
and how many people can handle it when they get knocked down to really get back up?
Can you get back up?
Can you get back up when you're knocked down?
Damn, Mount Everest, that's a far drop. That's a
hell
long
of,
drop.
That's
yeah.
a hell of a drop. And you know, and we're gonna leave y'all with that cliffhanger today.
Yeah.
Because this has been a great conversation, which we're gonna come back to.
I love it.
It's like I said, take your time. And with that, we're gonna leave you from this episode of On the Mic with the M.
Auntie.
And you know what you need to do. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and you can find me at Overcome to Become on Instagram. How do you find you, T?
At Trust_City.
Hit us and let us know what you think. Peace and blessings, y'all.
Have a good one.